Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a brand new release from Miss Charlotte Tilbury, darling. These are the Exaggerated Easy Eyeshadow 6. I have 6 shades from the line to show you, demo for you, talk to you about the formula, give you my thoughts, all that fun stuff. So if that sounds like fun to you, please stick around. Please also hit the subscribe button and the notification bell below. We have so much fun on this channel talking about all things makeup and beauty. We have so many releases coming up. I wouldn't want you to miss out on a single one. So please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's get this party started. All right, so darlings, let's get into this. These retail for $32 each, and they're supposed to be waterproof, crease-proof, and 24-hour wear. I don't know about the 24-hour wear. I don't know about you, but I typically don't wear eyeshadow for 24 hours, so I can't tell you how that goes. But I'm very excited to swatch these and get these on my makeup-loving eyes, so let's get into it. All right, so I picked up 6 shades. I wanted to pick up all of them, but I was somewhat good. Now, in typical Charlotte Tilbury fashion, we have a beautiful case right here. And then on the bottom of each stick, you have the shade. So it's very easy for use. And this is what it looks like. So let's swatch it. So this is the lightest shade that I picked up. And this is the shade Ballet Quartz. That's Ballet Quartz right there. Next, we have Mink Sculpt. So that's Mink Sculpt right there. Ooh. So very creamy as I'm applying them to my makeup-loving hands. Next, we have the shade Amber Haze. Very pretty. Okay, so Amber Haze right here. Next, we have the shade Desert Sculpt. So that is Desert Sculpt right there. So I'm sure that you're noticing as I'm swatching these, the color scheme is not dramatically diverse. So we are not getting a Danessa Myricks type shade, which is something that you can see from space and is so fun and glittery. These are beautiful shades, but they're typical Charlotte Tilbury shades. They're pretty similar. This is the shade Bronze Garnet. So it's Bronze Garnet right there. And then probably the shade that I'm most excited to try is Cocoa Cherry Sculpt. It has a fun red undertone. It's a little bit deep. So that is Cocoa Cherry Sculpt right there. So first we have Ballet Quartz, Mink Sculpt, and Amber Haze, followed by Desert Sculpt, Bronze Garnet, and Cocoa Cherry Sculpt. So very pretty color story, but again, not that diverse. Interesting. Okay, so without further ado, let's get these on my makeup-loving eyes. So I have primed my eyelids with a little bit of concealer and a little bit of powder because I did sneak a little bit of the Mink Sculpt on today. I think these will probably do better with a little bit of setting. I don't think these are good for just straight on the eyelids without any color corrector or something to kind of neutralize your eyelid. So right here, I'm going in with Ballet Quartz. Ooh, that's very pretty. I thought this would be good only as a topper, but this is good as a one and done shade too. What do we think? That is beautiful. It's even prettier in person than it's showing up on camera. And there's no tackiness. It's not wet, even though it looks a little bit wet. It's just very smooth on the eyelid. You don't feel like you have anything on. Okay, Charlotte, darling, very nice job. Now let's apply it on the other lid. See how this looks together. Now, you could layer these shadows, but I am doing them as one and dones because I feel that if you're interested in these shades, you want to see how it looks on its own. Ooh, that's pretty. It's like angelic. It's gorgeous. Okay, so that is Ballet Quartz. I'm very impressed. I thought that would, like I said, only be a really good topper shade, but I would wear this on its own. What do we think? It's beautiful. The way the shimmers are capturing the light, it's very nice. Again, like I said, I think this formula does better when you set it with just a little bit of concealer, a little bit of powder, but I think it's beautiful. All right. So before I take this off, one last look at Ballet Quartz. I think this is a universally flattering shade. Perfect as a topper, perfect on its own. Very nice. And like I said, this formula is extremely lightweight, so you don't feel dry on the eyelids. You don't feel like you're wearing anything on your eyes. It's just really beautiful. So, all right. Next shade is Mink Sculpt. All right. I'll be right back. So now let us move on to our second shade. This is Mink Sculpt. This might be a stupid question, but what does Mink Sculpt mean? Are we sculpting a mink? Is the mink sculpting us? Are we getting a mink coat? So many questions. Oh, I got it. The inner corner there, but let's do that again. Ooh, this is my kind of like everyday neutral shade, especially for work. I love wearing a shade like this. This is like a little bit lighter than the Armani Cashew shade that I love so dearly. It's just such a good, oh gosh, I love this. Like as simple as this shade is, it's just so good. I'm just taking a Nikki LaRose BK Beauty N20S brush, just diffusing that out. So you can use a brush with these. You don't have to. You can use your makeup loving fingers, but whoa, gosh, she's gorgeous. I'm gonna put a little bit more. Again, so simple, but so easy to use. You see how flawless these eyeshadows are? And I almost poked myself in the eye. The other day when I was filming, I really poked myself in the eye. Very good with the brush. It's not my best moment. See, this is like my perfect everyday shade. So this is Mink Sculpt. I'm not sure who's sculpting, if we're sculpting the mink or the mink is sculpting us, but this is Mink Sculpt. What do we think? I think she's beautiful. Now, obviously, you could take this and go under the, well, you would take the tap off first. You could take this and go a little bit under. Not really going to do that too much just because I have so many shades to try on and take off and all that fun stuff. But very easy to just take this underneath just to give a little bit more definition. This is like your perfect grab and go type shade. Very pretty. Could top it with a little bit of shimmer to make it a little bit more fun, but just so easy to use. You have time before these set down to play around with them. Really beautiful. I like this shade too. Again, this is Mink Sculpt. Let me know what you think of this shade in the comments down below. Also, let me know, who do you think is sculpting who? The mink or us? Or, it just dawned on me, we're sculpting the eyes and the shade is a mink shade. But I like to think it's more creative than that. But you let me know in the comments down below what you think. All right, so moving on to shade number 3. Okay, so this one I'm really excited to try. This is Amber Haze. This looks like a beautiful shade. Oh, very pretty. Just taking a Eyeshadow number 3 brush and just moving them around. Like I said, you do have time to move these around before they dry down. That's very pretty. Nice bronzy shade. So the shimmer is kind of subtle, not too much in your face. So if you're someone who likes shimmer, but not something that you can see from outer space, you would love this. All right, so this is Amber Haze. What do we think? I think this is a beautiful shade, especially for the summer. I feel like if you're going out at night and you just want a beautiful bronze look, like Effortless eyeshadow, this is stunning. And like I said, the shimmers aren't Danessa Myricks type style or the Bobbi Brown eyeshadow 6 that just came out, which I do love. I love both of those. This is a different formula. I think this is even creamier than the DIOR eyeshadow 6. I think the DIOR eyeshadow 6 don't have as much of a base to them, a substance to them. These have more of a substance. They're effortless and they're chic. So I'm very happy so far. And we have 3 more shades to play with. Again, like I said, you could combine these. I think these are not necessarily one and done, but they can be. I personally would probably wear them as one and dones, but I wanted to show you what these look like as one and dones in case you were picking up 1 or 2 shades and you wanted to pick which ones. Like I always say, why have 2 when you can have 5? So you're not restricted to 2, but just in case you wanted to buy a few and not the whole collection, you could see what they look like on their own. But they can definitely be layered with each other. They're buildable to an extent, but like say with this shade, this is as much shimmer as I will get. If I continue to build this up, it's not going to continue to give me more and more shimmer. This is pretty much it. But that's the look that we're going for here with this beautiful line from Charlotte Tilbury. So again, one more time, up close and personal, Amber Haze. What do we think? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, so let me remove these from my makeup loving eyes, and then we will move next to Desert Sculpt. Again, that sculpting word. I'm guessing now that I think about it upon further reflection that the Mink Sculpt shade was probably referring to the sculpting of the eyes and not the sculpting of the mink. But again, I would like to think that that's what Charlotte Tilbury meant, and it's a very creative name for an eyeshadow stick if we're thinking in that light. So Desert Sculpt, not as fun as the Mink Sculpt shade, but let's go with it. All right, I will be right back. Okay, so moving on to shade number 1, 2, 3, 4. Desert Sculpt. Let's sculpt that desert. Oh. Oh. Okay, so this is a deeper shade, obviously, right? And I'm going to go a little bit messy and then go in with the brush. Oh, that might be my favorite shade. So it's a little bit deeper than Mink Sculpt, a little bit more of a true, like, rich brown. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, that's my favorite shade so far. That is gorgeous. Now, again, you do not have to use a brush. I'm just using a brush because I have somewhat long nails, and when I try to do eyeshadow like this with my fingers and the shadow is dark, it tends to get in places it doesn't belong, and then I don't look my best on YouTube, and then I, go cry in a corner basically and question my life choices. So to avoid that today, because it's been a long day to begin with, we're using the brush, but you don't have to. But you see how I had time to work both of these into my makeup loving eyes? You do have time to work with these before they dry down. Ah, that's stunning. Let's sculpt this desert. Look at this. In all seriousness, look at that. That's beautiful. These are so beautiful. Now, I want you to notice these are not drying on my eyelids. Very creamy, very smooth. If you found the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eyeshadow 6 to be a little bit dry, you might have better luck with this one. These are not as hydrating, obviously, as the Bobbi Brown ones that I just reviewed or Janessa Myricks, but all things considered, they're a little bit slightly more creamy than the Anastasia Beverly Hills. But I love those eyeshadow sticks, but I know some of my lovely viewers and subscribers, especially those with more mature leaning eyelids, had a little bit of an issue with those eyeshadows. So just bear that in mind. You might have more luck with this. But this is a beautiful shade. What do we think? All right. Let me know in the comments down below, what you think of Desert Sculpt. Did we sculpt the desert well? Did it sculpt us well? Let me know what you think. Okay. So now we were on shade number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Okay. The shade is Bronze Garnet. And I don't know if I mentioned before, these are made in Italy. So what's nice about these eyeshadows is you don't need to rub back and forth excessively. Just very smoothly go like this. They really glide on so effortlessly. It does not require a lot of work on your part. That's pretty. Okay, so this has more of a, let's see. This has a little bit like a slight, maybe eggplant undertone. Ever so slight. And I just poked myself in the eye. Now with this one, I'm just going to try to use my finger. Kind of just want to build this up a little bit more. So as you can see, if I don't really buff it out, maintain that beautiful shade right there. So I think these are really versatile because if you're looking for that more diffused look, you can obviously buff these out. But if you want that beautiful impact, you can just leave it like that. Okay, so this shade is beautiful. It's a little bit more dramatic. It's not my personal favorite. I think the Amber Haze is a much more special color. I think the one that we just tried on, the Desert Sculpt, was more my color story. This is pretty. It's just not my personal favorite shade, but what do you think? I think if you're looking for one of these shades that has a little bit more of an eggplant undertone, just ever so slightly, right? You just see that purple eggplant undertone right there. I think you would love this. It's pretty. I just think I need something a little bit lighter in the corner of the eye. I think the shade is a little bit too dark for my skin tone on its own. I really want to put this on, but I'm doing one and done, so I'm not going to do that. But in my personal Courtney Luxe everyday life, I will be putting this on in my inner corner with the shade that I can't remember the name of. Bronze Garnet. I just remembered it. That's what I'll be doing. But for now, we'll just leave it one and done. So, what do we think of Bronze Garnet? Let me know in the comments down below. Sadly, beauties, we are on our last shade. All good things must come to an end, I guess. All right, so this is the shade Cocoa Cherry Sculpt. Now, this is probably the one I'm most excited for because it scares me the most. Ooh. All right. Okay, this is why, Courtney, you need to use a brush. Do we take our own advice? No. Let's try being wise and prudent and using a brush when we know we need a brush. Now, as far as the finish of these probably remind me most of the Armani eye tints. I think they're creamier than DIOR, and I think they have more substance than DIOR, but DIOR has a wider shade range. These shades are all very similar. We like Cherry Cola. Cherry Cola? No, Cherry Sculpt. No? Cocoa Cherry Sculpt, excuse me. It's a pretty accurate name because you have the brown and the more reddish undertone here. That is pretty. That's really pretty. And just see how it creates this beautiful veil on the eyelid. Very smooth, very creamy. I think with proper eye prep, this is good for mature eyelids. I think if you tend to have dry eyes, maybe using a little bit of some eye cream before you use these, maybe a hydrating concealer and just setting it ever so slightly, or a hydrating eye primer and letting it set down and then going in with these eyeshadow sticks would be best. You see how easy this is? This is definitely one of my favorite shades. Gorgeous. So pretty. I'm just kind of taking it and feathering it even up to the brow to create a more cohesive look. I'm not adding anything else. Just taking what's left on the brush and just sharing the love. Why are my eyebrows doing that? Stop. So you see how easy this is just to blend without even putting any more product? Now I'm going to take this and do a little bit under the eye since this is the last shade. So very easy to use on the bottom lash line. Taking a Nikki Rose N23 brush and just pressing that in a little bit. Very nice. And also, can we talk about my mascara for a second? Do you see my eyelashes? This is the new Revie Beauty mascara. I think it's absolutely stunning. Using it for the first time today, I can't wait to continue using this. It's gorgeous. The way it just fans out the eyelashes and lifts them, really beautiful, very special. Just taking this brush and just trying not to poke ourselves in the eye. That's really pretty. Okay, so I don't know if this is my favorite shade or if Mink Sculpt is my favorite shade or Desert Sculpt is my favorite shade. Surprisingly, I think I'm leaning more towards the mattes in this collection than the shimmer shades, but they're both beautiful. I love the shade. It's so pretty. I was afraid this was going to make me look a little bit sickly because of that, reddish undertone, but I think it's beautiful. I'm going to take this Ballet Quartz and just add a little bit here, just so it's not so stark, just a little in the inner corner. See, this is what I envision this shade particularly useful for. Okay, I'm just going in with my Revie Beauty mascara just to touch up the mascara, even though I've touched up 6 times already while filming this because of all the applications. Really nice. And I just want to freshen up my blush. This is the new shade from Revie Beauty. This is the Endless Diffusion Everyday Bake Blush in the shade Heaven. These are made in Italy. It's a beautiful, cool tone pink, just really gorgeous for the spring and summer. So this is my first time trying this. I put this on before filming and I loved it right off the bat. So pretty. All right, so the final look, the final shade, the final countdown. This is Cocoa Cherry Cola. No. This is Cocoa Cherry Sculpt. Let me know what you think in the comments down below of Cherry Cola Sculpt. I think that's the right name, right? Cherry Cola. No, my gosh, I have a mental block with that. Let me know what you think of Cocoa Cherry Sculpt in the comments down below. So sadly, the fun makeup application part of the video is over, and I'm here to tell you my final thoughts, my esteemed, not so steamed opinion of these eyeshadow sticks, these Exagger-Eyes Easy Eyeshadow Sticks from Miss Charlotte Tilbury Dotting. I think the formula is beautiful. I think they're creamy. I think they sit on the eyelids beautifully. They're so easy to blend out. You have time to work with them. This is not a formula that you have to rush to get done, rush to set on your makeup loving eyes. These are just a really beautiful formula. I wish the color range was a little bit more expanded. It's a little bit limiting. I think the shades are a little bit too similar from one another. Do I think you need to run out and buy all the shades in the line? Absolutely not. They're too similar to each other. If I had to pick out some standouts, I think the Ballet Quartz is gorgeous on its own or as an inner corner highlight like I used here. I think that Amber Haze, this shade right here, is really beautiful. I think this last shade that we used, the Cocoa Cherry Sculpt, did I get it right? I got it right. Yay for me. And I think also that the Desert Sculpt is gorgeous. The shades that I may skip personally are the Bronze Garnet shade was a little bit of a skip for me. The Mink Sculpt was beautiful, but now that I've seen the other shades, it's probably not my favorite. I do want to note that I'm rubbing this pretty hard and it is really not moving, just ever so slightly there, but it is not budging. So I think these are going to be really long lasting. I'm excited to play around with them and I'll let you know in another video or in a post or a short or something how I like the formula over time. But I am very impressed. I think it's a beautiful line. The only caveat is that I wish that she had more shades. But maybe one day. We can all hope, right? So let me know what you think in the comments down below. I will have everything linked down below. And let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for taking time out of your busy life to hang out with me. It means the world to me. And any way that you help support my channel, whether it's liking my videos, leaving me a comment, hyping my videos, shopping through my links, or just letting me know that you love my content, I cannot thank you enough. I appreciate you so very much. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, I would love it for you to join our growing community of beauty lovers and friends. We have so much fun together on this channel, talking about all things makeup and beauty and life, frankly. And also, we have so many fun makeup releases coming up. I would not want you to miss out on a single one. So please subscribe and hit the notification bell down below. And also, Make sure you follow me over on Instagram. On my Instagram page, I post a lot of daily updates when things are coming in stock, when things are on sale, things like that. So please make sure that you follow me. I will also put up a QR code for that, so you can just scan and meet me over on that platform as well. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a blessed day, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.